Kelly Davis, your host of the Untold Miracles podcast, and today we have an extraordinary guest on the show. He's an Emmy Award-nominated actor, producer, writer, director, author, father, husband, and philanthropist. You might know him from his role playing Dwight on The Office, or from reading his autobiography, The Bassoon King, or you may follow his social media company, Soul Pancake, or listen to his amazing podcast. Please welcome to the podcast, Mr. Rainn Wilson.
Hey, thank you, Kelly. Nice to talk to you.
Oh, it's so nice to talk to you. I am so grateful for your time today. I know that you are a very busy man creating a lot of miracles for people in this world, especially for some young girls in Haiti. But I'm just super excited today to talk to you about miracles.
Great. I love talking about miracles.
Well, a lot of people don't know this about you, but when you were doing theater acting in New York City after you graduated from college at the University of Washington, it wasn't all sunshine and roses. You were living in an abandoned brewery and driving a moving truck to make ends meet. You were jumped twice. I want to know what inspired you to keep going.
Wow, that's such a great question, and I really thank you for asking it, because there are large miracles and there are small miracles. This is what I believe. And I wanted to quit. Believe me, I almost tried to quit. I would very seriously consider quitting. I would look at my alternatives. Could I teach? Could I move to Portland, Oregon? Should I travel the world? Quit theater acting, show business? And I guess what happened for me is I started to try and hone a sensitivity toward the universe, trying to read the tea leaves, as it were. And as I wanted to quit, I would always get some little job or some little nibble that made me think, well, this is something leading me forward. This is something leading me beyond what I've just done. It might have just been a small thing. Maybe it was like I did one theater job and I got $500 a week. And then the next theater job, I got $600 a week. But I would look at those little signs. It's like, it seems like the universe is still, in some way, shape, or form, even as difficult as this is, the universe is nudging me forward gently in some way. Those are little miracles that I think we all have to kind of sensitize ourselves to and look in our lives and look for those little signs. It's not the sky opening up. It's not some big bounty falling from heaven on your lap.
I just listened to a podcast that you did with Omid. Is that how you say his name?
Yeah.
And it was so powerful because you said that the most miraculous things going on right now, they're not big. They're all around us. They're happening every day. Are we looking? Are we paying attention? Are we being grateful? And I just really appreciated your insight on that, because sometimes we're just caught up in complaining and what we're not seeing and asking for things, but it's really being aware of those little things. And I love that there were those little nudges for you that kept you going. I know in your role as Dwight, you earned many accolades, including 3 Emmy nominations. And in that role, you were given instant recognition. You also directed a few episodes. Were there any miracles involved in you getting that iconic role?
The miracle was that the show stayed on the air at all. I mean, we were almost canceled so many different times.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and we got very bad reviews. We got very poor ratings to start, and everyone wanted to pull the plug. There was one or two executives at NBC. They believed in us in the long run, in the long term. And they stuck with us. And our first initial order was 6 episodes. And then we got another order for another 5 episodes. And then they added 2 more to that, and then 1 more to that, and then 1 more to that. And then we were off and running. But there was another little miracle that happened, and who knows why the universe works the way it does. And that was when we came out, video iPods came out at the same time. This was 2004, 2005, I can't remember. And for some reason, Apple decided to preload its video iPod with the Office Christmas episode from season 2. And of course, these iPods sold like hotcakes, and they sold really to a lot of to be really frank, they sold to a lot of rich kids. And they were all watching The Office all of a sudden and telling their friends. And then, I don't know if you remember, I don't know how old you are, but back in those days, there was the iTunes TV chart where you could buy TV shows. and they had them ranked and rated, and The Office was always at the top of the shows that people would buy and download. So had that technology not happened at the exact same time as The Office launching, we never would have gone anywhere.
It's been a little bit hard being a stereotyped as Dwight as far as getting other roles, and that's been a challenge. But I want to know the best thing in your life from playing that role, other than a paycheck and, a lot of credibility for your acting.
There's so many great things that came from playing that role. Just the other day, we had a brunch at Greg Daniels' house, the creator of The Office, and most of the cast was there. And just realizing, like, oh, I have missed these people. This is my other family. Like the fact that I got to have a whole other family for 9 seasons of people that I'm really, really close to and love a ton. Just such a great and generous, luminous group of people. So that's one. And, doing The Office just opened so many doors for me. And there's been struggles, but, I was just telling a friend the other day, VH1 did this concert special starring The Who. And because I was playing Dwight, they invited me to interview The Who. And I got to introduce them on stage.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I got to meet Pete Townsend. I mean, there's so many things, from hosting Saturday Night Live to hanging out with astronauts. You name it. I've had incredible things happen.
Dwight, you co-created the media company Soul Pancake that has the tagline, "We make stuff that matters." I really want to know what inspired you to create this and why making stuff that matters to you so much.
Well, first I want to point out that you just called me Dwight, which is okay. It happens all the time.
Can I please apologize for that? I'm so sorry, Rainn.
Easy mistake to make. So there's another blessing that came down from The Office. When it started to take off, I started meeting with some friends and talking about, hey, what's something really positive we can do on the internet? And came up with Soul Pancake as a website, destination, social media company, then media company, digital video media company that explored life's big questions, that made inspiring content that reminded us what it is to be a human being and to make stuff that matters. And that's kind of our clarion call as a company. And I love that it's make stuff that matters. It's not we make stuff that matters. It's make stuff that matters. Everybody, you doing this podcast, no matter what you make it matter. The days of, hey, I just want to have a nice, comfortable life and not bother anybody else, those days are over. It's not enough for us human beings. We need to actively improve the world in some way around us as we go forward. We just do. And you can be in denial about that all you want, but we need that, whether it's healing racism, healing the environment, bringing people together, whatever it is. It's crucial that everyone plays a part.
I want to thank you for the content that you started creating in 2012 with Kid President Robbie Novak. He's actually one of the 10 million kids treated at a Children's Miracle Network hospital. We raise funds for 170 children's hospitals across the country. He is so funny. He's so real. He has osteogenesis imperfecta, which is like brittle bone, but you would never know because he stays positive and happy, and he has a sense of resilience, and he's just amazing. And that's the type of content you're creating, and I just want to thank you for that.
Oh, my pleasure. And honestly, I get a lot of the credit for it because I helped launch it. But we had an amazing team that worked 80-hour weeks creating amazing content and scouring the internet and finding people like Robbie Novak, Kid President, and the many other shows that we did. One of my favorite shows that we did on Soul Pancakes, speaking of miracles, is called My Last Days. My Last Days is a show about people who are dying, but it's not a sad show per se. It's a show about getting life lessons from people at the very end of their lives. So they're inspiring, uplifting stories. Look for them on the Soul Pancake YouTube channel.
Yeah, you have nearly 3 million subscribers and millions and millions and millions of views, and I'm excited to check that out. I want to talk to you about when you founded the organization, you co-founded it, and you ended up in a 2-year litigation with that person. I want to know what the biggest lesson you learned from that experience.
Well, I can't really talk about that court case as an agreement of our settlement, but I think that anyone that tries to start something positive in the world, you're going to have a lot of obstacles along the way. That just goes with the landscape. There's going to be difficulties and obstacles. It's going to make you want to quit. It's going to make you want to give up. It's going to want to make you bitter. You just got to keep going. The world needs it.
Rainn, you co-wrote a book, Soul Pancake, Chewing on Life's Biggest Questions. What's the biggest question that you've asked that you've got an answer to?
I will say that I don't know what my purpose is, but I do know, and I have found what is important to me. And I know that what is important to me, therein lies my purpose. So my family, my faith, telling stories that matter, that challenge and uplift people, and doing whatever I can to help the disenfranchised and uplift people. Those are the things that are important.
You and your wife have been married for over 20 years. You have a son, a ton of animals. You actually have a zonkey, which is a cross between a zebra and a donkey. I want to know how your family and your faith have supported you throughout your career.
We also, by the way, have goats now because we inherited.
I did not know that. That's a big miss on my part.
It's a new development. We rescued some goats that were homeless after the fire, the Woolsey fire in Malibu. So we have some goats, and I loved how you connected the zonkey and faith. No one has ever done that before. So we've been married a long time, my wife and I. We've also had a lot of obstacles, a lot of challenges, and a tremendous amount of ups and downs and struggles throughout the years. Fortunately for us, we have remained together and gotten to be better people and closer and more intimate because of them. And part of the thing that helps us with this is our faith. We're both members of the Baha'i faith. And to be a Baha'i is to believe that there's only one God, that all religions are united, and that it is our spiritual duty to be of service to others. And my wife and I are able to, put aside whatever differences or struggles we're going through and work together in our faith toward those ends. So I'm really super grateful about that.
I love that you practice what you preach, and you and your wife co-founded a nonprofit organization in Haiti that promotes literacy and empowerment for adolescent girls in Haiti. And it's so amazing to watch the miracles that you're creating for those women. You're in 13 locations, right, with over 500 girls. And I would love for you to share a personal miracle that you've witnessed with some of the girls that you've worked with. I listened to one of your podcasts where you talked about these girls getting computers. They'd never seen them. They have them in their hands, the wonder, the possibility, the look on their faces. I can only assume that was a miracle. But are there any other miracles you'd like to share with what your foundation is doing in Haiti?
I wish I had a story of because we've been working for about 4 years now, there's this girl we started working with and now she's going to Harvard, or something like that. I don't have any of those kind of specific stories. Lide Haiti works with some of the poorest adolescent girls on the planet in rural Haiti, way far away from the cities, basically farm girls. And we try and give them a leg up in their education. So we give them arts education, scholarships, tutoring, a mobile library, and even a computer lab. And yeah, you asked about the computers. It's really funny. When they study computers in school, which they do study, they have a workbook. It's hysterical. It's a workbook of shortcuts, and they're tested on keyboard shortcuts, but without ever having touched a keyboard or touched a computer in their life. So they'll have tests on how to turn a computer on and how to open a file, and they have to write it out, almost like an essay about what they do, but they've never touched a computer. So to give them a shot at learning how to make an Excel spreadsheet or a Word document and learning how to organize a desktop, some really basic, simple stuff. But the biggest miracle was finding our incredible Haitian staff. We are able to employ almost 40 people, about 20 of them full-time, about 20 of them part-time. And Haiti is a country filled with capacity. The capacity of the Haitian people is huge, and it's proven when they come to the United States because they become doctors and lawyers and they start companies, and Haitian Americans are incredibly vital and driven, proud to be American, proud to be Haitian. And we have found this incredible staff of teachers and administrators and been able to work with them, train them, help them. And they're, at the vanguard of helping make Haiti a better place. Yeah, it's lidehaiti.org, L-I-D-E, Haiti.org. So it's all there on the website.
Awesome. Well, thank you. I know we just have a couple minutes left, and I have a few quick fire questions for you, if you're okay with that.
All right.
Okay, I want to know the favorite role you have ever played.
Favorite role I've ever played, I'm going to say, was the role of Frank in the movie Super, directed by James Gunn. And it's an independent film. It's on Netflix.
Okay.
And it's pretty dark and violent, but the story is so hopeful and uplifting. And it was a really challenging and satisfying character that it's one of those characters like, oh, okay, I can die happy I got to play that role.
I love it. I want to know if you could star in a movie with any actor or actress, who would it be?
So many answers to that question. I would say I think the best actor going these days is Michael Shannon.
Mm-hmm.
And I would love to work with him. He usually plays villains because he comes across very heavy, but he's very funny, too. I saw him do this really funny one-man show in New York. And he's just got a great range, and he's just a fascinating guy.
What would your dream role be in a movie remake?
How about The Incredible Mr. Limpet, starring Don Knotts from the 50s?
Okay. I love it. If there were any animal, fiction or real, that you could have as your next pet, what would that be?
How about a crow and a three-eyed crow as an homage to Game of Thrones, my favorite show?
What would people be surprised to find out about you if they read your autobiography, The Bassoon King?
That I once had worms come out of my butt.
I heard that story. It's crazy. I think you were talking to Omid about that. And it was more than once, right?
Yes. Yeah, I had parasites. We were living in the coast of Nicaragua in the jungles of the Mosquito Coast. And the medication they give you for worms makes them just kind of detach and come off. Something I will never forget. And something that people would definitely be surprised to know about me.
Absolutely. If you could play a game of Dungeons and Dragons with anyone, who would it be?
Elon Musk.
Very cool. And my last question, and I ask this to all of our guests, if there were 3 miracles that you could create in the world today, what would that look like for you?
I think the greatest miracle that humans can undertake is to have compassion for someone else and someone else's pain and someone else's situation. And that goes on both sides of the political spectrum. And that goes no matter what race you are. Humanity needs to mature its compassion towards one another. Realize like everyone is shouldering a tremendous burden. Everyone has a lot of challenges going on in their lives. Everyone is trying their best or seeking to try their best with what they have and have gone through a lot of pain. And we need to start conversations like that, not start conversations, accusing each other, but a healing conversation. So my big miracle that I would put out is just increased compassion.
Choosing love instead of assumptions and judging, the world would be a much better place.
Yeah.
Before we end, I want you to tell our listeners where they can follow you and what they can look forward to.
Well, they can follow me. I'm in the Starbucks parking lot, so they can follow me here into the Starbucks in Calabasas. But
Ooh, I love Calabasas.
Yeah, I'm on the Twitter and the Instagram at Rainn Wilson, and they can certainly look into Soul Pancake and follow Lide Haiti. And the work that it's doing. We have a website, we have social media, Instagram, and a YouTube channel for them as well.
Well, I appreciate your time so much today, Rainn. It has been such an honor to get to know you better. And I'm so inspired by your podcast. It is so incredible. I want listeners to check it out because the stories in Omid's episode alone are insane. I would love to talk to you about just the miracles that he talked about.
Yeah.
People should definitely check it out. And I just want to thank you for being a miracle worker in this world. You truly live your life in love and service to others, and that's inspiring.
Thank you for all the compliments, but I do want to posit it by saying, like, it may seem that way on the outside or whatever. I started a charity in Soul Pancake and I'm successful and stuff, but it's important to know, like, I am a deeply flawed human being that has made some terrible choices in my life and still struggle with impatience and anger and all kinds of character defects. And so you don't have to be perfect in order to do good in the world. You know what I mean? You can just be a flawed human being and just try your best to make some difference.
Mr. Rainn Wilson, have an amazing evening, and thanks again for your time.
Sounds great. Thank you so much.
This episode of Untold Miracles is brought to you by Marriott International. Marriott is the longest-standing corporate partner of Children's Miracle Network hospitals. Marriott associates and guests have raised more than $120 million to help sick and injured kids get the care they need. Marriott guests also donate millions of points each year to Children's Miracle Network hospitals. Visit Marriott.com to find out how you can donate Marriott Reward points to make a difference in the life of a child.